In order to appreciate how far this game has come, we have to go back to where it all started. Despite the warnings his generals provided regarding the Empire's military weakness, Emperor Titus Mede II rejected the ultimatum presented by the Thalmor ambassador. Then, at what was first perceived as a cart carrying gifts, the Thalmor ambassador turned it over, spilling 100 heads of every Blades agent in the Somerset and Valenwood region. And so began the Great War, which would consume the Empire and the Aldmeri Dominion for the next 5 years. Within days, the Aldmeri armies invaded Hammerfell and Cyrodiil simultaneously. A strong force, commanded by none other than the Thalmor general himself, Wardna Arafin, attacked Cyrodiil from the south, marching out of hidden camps in northern Elsweyr and flanking the Imperial defenses along the Valenwood border. Leowain would soon fall to the invaders while Bravel was cut off and besieged. The Elder Scrolls Blades lets you take part in a story set within the compelling history built upon the aftermath of the Great War.
For centuries, the Blades protected the Dragonborn Emperors, an elite group of fighters. They commanded fear and respect. But the Great War against the Elves ravaged the Empire. The Emperor was forced to sign a costly peace treaty. The Blades were outlawed and disbanded. The Thalmor hunted them down throughout the Empire.
Playing as a surviving member of the Blades, an elite group of fighters who were sworn to protect the Empire, you become a fugitive due to the outcome of the Great War. Hunted by the Thalmor Altmer of the Aldmeri Dominion, you seek refuge in your hometown, only to find that it was inadvertently destroyed by a group of mercenaries working for the Bloodfall Queen. And here we are, years into the future. What is Elder Scrolls Blades today? Forget about everything you've heard from 2018 to 2020. The initial woes of early release have for the most part been addressed. All that we are left with is a truly underrated game, almost unaltered from its original code, not falling the victim of bastardization of code changes, bug fix fails, and many other weaknesses that prey upon popular games today. By laying low and flying under the radar, the Elder Scrolls Blades has proven to be the only Bethesda PvP game out there that is truly balanced. Since Bethesda hasn't invested much into the improvement to Elder Scrolls Blades, that means they've really had a long time to work out the bugs from the original code with minimal changes. In fact, the only changes and new features being added are new event quests and new sigil items, meaning the risk to introducing new bugs is almost mitigated. So how do people stay interested in playing this game? And what have people been saying about the Elder Scrolls Blades lately? Don't take it from me, take it from the top players in the community that I've had the pleasure of interviewing over the years. Wow.
Yeah, like when you say noob, I was the noobest of the noobs.
Sounds like me, dude. That's always that's I'm right up there with you, man. That's why I'm still doing like these stalker series videos, because I am forever stalking people. Like, dude, how do you kick my butt so bad?
Yeah, I mean, it was like, you get to a point, you can only do so much on your own. You can only figure out so much on your own, you know? And I definitely got to that point where I was like, okay, I need somebody to tell me what I'm doing here.
So tell me about that journey. Like, where did it start, and how did it turn out for you?
I would Google, okay, what does this do? How do I do this? And it would always lead me back to Reddit, which I've never been on Reddit before in my life either.
Wow.
So, and that was very intimidating to me. Like, I'm like, I don't want to be posting on here, but I'm just going to read what people are saying. And then I saw it would have been July, so I've been playing Arena for quite a while, like 4 or 5 months. Saw a post for True Blades, and I sent Ote a message on Reddit, which was like the scariest thing in the world to do for me. And he's like, yeah, I'll make room for you. And like, it was just awesome. I'm like, hi, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a gamer. And they were all awesome and just like totally part of the family.
And that was Skyrim. The detriment of my personal productivity, I really just got into it. But I traveled a lot. I'd actually been looking for a mobile game that was comparable to that. Open world, complex quests, sub-quests, character customization, graphics, and, without a doubt, the music.
When you found Elder Scrolls Blades, I mean, did it meet those expectations for you?
No, but in some ways it did. I think that they have a great score. It's got some good quests going on. And
so when you say score, you're talking about the music, right?
Yeah, it's got a pretty good score. Sounds a little bit Game of Thrones-y, if you will.
Yeah, with the drums at the beginning,
yeah, a little bit of that. I like the fact that Elder Scrolls, Oblivion, Morrowind, Skyrim experience without me having to make that level of commitment to the game.
In other words, it's good enough.
Yeah. That was important, that I could do it without it having a huge impact on my real life. Really get the sense of that with it. In Skyrim, I would be open to like 2 or 3 subquests. I'm like, all right, well, I got to know what happens. So next thing you know, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Why do you still play Blades?
Because it's fun. When it comes down to it, the reason why we do this is because it's fun. None of us are making any money off. None of us are going to achieve huge internet fame. It's a mobile game that just so happens to be a heck of a lot of fun. I've met a lot of awesome people all across the world, in both inside my guild and outside my guild, that I love interacting on a daily basis. Whether the community itself makes the game fun, regardless of what happens in the game, we all have the same things to complain about.
If there was one person or one group of people or something really in particular that helped you out the most on your journey, like who would you say, or what would you say that would have been?
Wow. I gotta say Bloodborne. I gotta say every single person I've met throughout the journey, from starting my guild to now. Outside of my guild, I would have to give a shout out to Matacrator and Ezra. Really helpful to me, like super early on.
What do you like most about what Blades has become?
2 things for me is what I like most about Blades, and it's one of them I touched on is the combat system, but then it's the people. So my people in the game, which are the Dark Brotherhood Guild, which I am now the guild master of for quite some time.
Nice, dude. Congrats on that.
Thanks. And then the Akatosh guilds, led by Narya,
right on,
who I made friends with pretty early on in the season 2 days. Akatosh really deserves a shout out, and Narya herself, is a good friend of mine. Also, she's the only female guild master to have led a top 10 and now top 5 guild consistently since she became the guild master of Akatosh, and that was like November of 2020 when she became the guild master. So it's been a lot, and they've always been in top 10, top 5 guilds. And she's awesome. They've really created a special place for the community there.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, congratulations to Narya and the Akatosh Empire too, for sure.
Yeah, those are some of my best people in the game. I consider them like my in-game family just as much as my guild, and we have a lot of fun playing the game. I mean, I think as much as I love the combat system, I probably wouldn't be here without the people.
It's a mobile game. There's only so much they can do, I guess, and fitting all those content into this big of an app and being free, it's a bit of a letdown, but hey, what was I expecting?
What type of a fighter are you?
That's the funny thing. I think I have 2 characters, and both are pretty much hybrid and balanced. And my goal and what I've been doing is that I collect gear and make the skill tree where I'm able to switch between different builds at will. I can go stamina focus, go magicka focus, or go balance with both spells and abilities. And that's actually interesting for a game where we all have issues with, we've had so many issues. Some of the fundamental things are super balanced in the game, where many different builds, gear, and secondary choices are viable. You have people using all 3 weapon types in Arena instead of just one meta, super overpowered weapon type. Our Grand Champions there's never one type of build for the Grand Champions. You have a very healthy mix of different styles and different focus and stamina and magic and balance on the leaderboard. History of Grand Champion. So I think that's really interesting, that a game that it seems like has so many broken things, but maybe some serious thought went into in the initial design of the game, where the different builds and different types of characters you can make are incredibly balanced, and there's so many different viable ways that gives Arena really interesting variety.
What's your favorite part about the Arena?
Just fighting, man. I am so guilty of doing nothing but spamming Arena. I will have 0 sigils for a month. My inventory is like 100 over its max limit, and I don't even care. I got no more room for chests. I'm like, whatever. We're just gonna keep going.
I like it, man. I mean, that's hardcore warrior blood running through your veins, bro.
I guess I can't get enough of it, man.
Yeah, and I feel you. I mean, you know, recently I did spend almost like 8 million gold, just going through materials and trying to make me the perfect weapons for my breacher sets, you know. And dude, 8 million gold, and then I'm like down to 1 million. I'm freaking out because I'm used to seeing like 10 to 15 million gold. I started dealing with PVE again, and you know, it's actually not too bad. You know,
I'm gonna tell you a little fun fact right now.
Okay.
I'm sitting on 30 million gold.
Nice, dude.
And I have collected every gold piece from Arena.
Oh man.
I get a little crazy. I don't play as much as I used to just because, life. But I certainly get it in.
Whatever. Like, what else motivates you to play these days?
Well, it's really the community for me. I just really love the community. Like, so many people are so funny, so helpful, so kind. And I just joined Bloodborne last month. I had been in True Blades, and so I moved to Bloodborne, and I just love it. People are so helpful and friendly in both of the guilds, really.
Anything in particular that you really appreciate?
Well, I'll just give a shout out to my favorite arena coach, Dagon, because he has coached me so patiently and listened to all my stupid questions and answered them probably multiple times, and he just continues to always help me.
That's awesome. So there you go. Shout out to Dagon. Players like you who appreciate the community. That's what's going to keep this game going, to be perfectly honest.
Really does. I wouldn't be playing it without the community, because it's just all the humorous conversations that happen and the different funny things that happen. It just makes your day sometimes.
Dude, Kara, so she does speak to about you a lot.
I think that she's one of the bigger pillars in the community that hold the community nice. And especially the German community, she's a big pointer for that. And at the start, when I got to know her, and we just started to slowly talk and slowly started to fight against each other. And that was at the point where she was still beating me completely. Okara was one of the people which I've exchanged just many of my little achievements with. Like, for example, my first ever round taken from someone like Sammy, which she was always super enthusiastic about. And I think she would do that for any other player. Because
he does, all the time, yep.
Seeing other people's success and seeing them happy and seeing them just making progress and getting better stuff, better equipment, I think that's just one of the things that make her happy, and I'm super glad for someone like her, because she was and still is one of the biggest fun parts in the community.
Absolutely, man. I mean, for me to have her in the Illuminati, is huge. I mean, we have a lot of cool people in our guild, and Kara is definitely among that pillar. And in your journey, was there anybody in particular, or any groups of people in particular that helped you out?
Yeah, so that would have to be my current guild, Akatosh Empire, and even my former Grand Master. He's now in Akatosh. So in the first guild I was in, he helped me a lot in terms of free health and all that stuff. Honestly, when it comes to two-handed play, I figured everything out on my own, basically. Every build decision I made, how much stamina to go for, what secondaries, what types of armor and everything. That's all a product of my experience playing the game. The game's not just about numbers and stuff. It's also about having a nice community, about having people you can chat with, In that aspect, Akatosh has been amazing. I met a lot of great people there, especially our guild master Naria is doing a great job there and organizing everything.
What motivates you to play these days?
Well, actually, communication. Just because I met a lot of nice people in this community, and this is actually the reason I'm still playing despite of all those bugs and lags. And actually it started a year ago when I joined a PvP guild with Gabriel or Wuthwad or Terrible as Grandmaster. He made me to install Discord and my journey began. And we had many adventures. We created our own guild, which became the strongest guild after 5 months. We created a Discord server for Russian-speaking community, which turned into a multilingual place for all of our friends. And in November, we started voice chatting and streaming. So it just kept interest to the game. This is why I'm playing, just because people make this game more interesting.
I mean, it's kind of cool that you guys, you hang out IRL too. I mean, do you guys talk a lot of smack?
Yeah, we used to. I mean, my two brothers don't play as much anymore. Ike doesn't really play or whatever, and Dragger224 has been playing a little more, but and Oche still plays every day. But
yeah,
it was still pretty fun in the beginning when we were all, basically the same level, so you could be better than him.
Like, competition's always good.
Yeah, it was.
Well, right on, man. What keeps you playing these days?
I still want to get to max level 100. I'm like 87 or something, and I still enjoy the arena with the bugs or whatever. It's still fun for me, and seeing new guys start to play and trying to help those guys out. Ask questions, or I fight them if see them doing something wrong or something that I didn't know.
Do you still see? Yeah, right. Do you still see a lot of new people coming in and out of the guild?
Yeah, I see. We still do. I mean, we have 3 guilds now or something like that, sort of 4 or whatever. So we still see a lot of guys that are just starting out, guys who haven't played since season 2 coming back and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Especially playing like a new get when I played the ult or whatever, you see a lot of guys I've never seen before. You know what I mean?
And there you have it, my friends. You've just heard from the top players of the Elder Scrolls Blades community. Now, what are you waiting for? Go out there and download Elder Scrolls Blades today, either on the Apple or Google Play Store, as well as Nintendo Switch. My name is Arius, and I play games. Stay rad, my friends. Cheers.